Frank tells tales of 1852.
A real airman would be able to tell me.
While Joe spins
No,
goats
you're
more
full of
than
shit.
new.
Not at that fucking altitude.
A real airman in the space down there. He can tell me what kind of fire it is.
Together they're a golden
Yeah, they'd be
team.
full of shit too.
So grab a seat and settle
They've
in.
always had their mouth flapping about how wonderful they are. So
About to begin. It's time for the Frank and Joe
1, 2, 3. You there, Joe?
Show.
All right, that's enough stroking, Frank.
Hey, thank you.
That's not what we're here for.
Don't
He gets
start no
enough
shit,
anyway
Joe. Joe start no shit.
from his home health care nurse. Welcome. And yes, Frank, we all can hear you when you do your mic check and we're going live. But welcome, Frank. How was your Thursday? You ready for the Frank and Joe show?
I am. How come I can't hear the intro and all that?
Not sure. We'll have to talk about that another time. I'm not sure why you can't hear that. You should be able to. You should be able to. No audio problems in the space, Corey? No issues there?
No, besides Frank's earpiece going off as far as he's getting old. No, it's hearing aid. Yeah, I hear it beeping. Might want to charge that, Frank.
Wow, shots fired early in the show. We like that. We like that.
Well, I'm trying to connect it. I don't know why you would be hearing it beep. I don't hear it beep.
You're not hearing shit, Frank. He's messing with you, bro. He's messing with you. I got you.
All right.
I got you back. But okay, let's get started with the show here. We've got once again, it is our nation's 250th birthday, if you will. 250 years of individual freedom and effing middle finger to the world.
Yeah.
And we hear, Frank, what do you think about folks that don't stand for the national anthem? Say it like sporting events. You know, they're sending a message. They're protesting in their way. But how do you feel about that?
Well, I guess the best way to describe them is assholes. Would that work for you?
There could be a way to describe that. Corey and Doc, what do you guys think about that when people don't stand and recognize our national anthem?
It's their First Amendment right. They can do what they want.
Yeah, they can.
I'm going to stand for the national anthem.
Doc, any comments on that?
Yeah, about the same. Everybody's got their own choices to make. Everybody's got their freedom of speech, and I have no objections to that. I don't have to like it, and I don't. But that's their choice.
That's their right and freedom to do. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Now, Frank, what do you know about our national anthem? Where did it come from? Do you know the story behind it?
Yeah.
And I'm not putting you on the spot. Many people don't.
No, I'm trying to remember. I do. It was written during the Revolutionary War.
The War of 1812.
It was it.
I believe is when this was actually written, but it was the British. The War of 1812. The British had sacked Washington D.C., burned the White House, and treated us like we had no daddy. And then they moved up north to Baltimore. They were going to do the same thing to Baltimore, but they had to get through Fort McHenry first. Now, during the battle down south in the Washington, D.C. area, there were a number of U.S. soldiers that were taken prisoner, and they had been taken onto these British ships that was now in Baltimore. They, through an intermediary, hired Francis Scott Key. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to tell the story. This guy here tells the story much better. But let's listen to the how we got to our national anthem.
There was a young lawyer by the name of Francis Scott Key who lived in Baltimore, Maryland in the early 1800s. At the time, our nation was engaged in vicious conflict with Britain. After the Revolutionary War, the British had suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the United States, and up until 1814, they had been on the defensive. But in August 1814, determined not to be embarrassed again, the British saw their opportunity to get on the offensive. They exacted their revenge by capturing our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., chasing President Madison and his wife from the city and burning many of our government buildings. Then the British headed to Baltimore, the nation's third most populated city, to attack a fort called Fort McHenry. Along the way, Britain had accumulated prisoners, and we know that some of the prisoners had been placed aboard those British warships. One of the prisoners was a man named Dr. William Beans. Dr. Beans had many prominent friends and neighbors who enlisted the services of one Francis Scott Key to negotiate with the British for his release. Francis Scott Key agreed and arranged to have Colonel John Skinner, American agent for prisoner exchange, accompany him. On the appointed day, the men rowed out in a little boat and boarded a British ship to secure the release of Dr. Beans. After nearly a week of negotiations, they were successful. That's the good news. The bad news is that the British decided that they were first going to attack Fort McHenry and that they wouldn't release any prisoner until after the fort had been destroyed. You see, Fort McHenry was a strategically located military base which was defended by 1,000 men. It stood on the end of a peninsula guarding the city of Baltimore, and the British knew that the defeat of Fort McHenry and its 1,000 men would serve as another demoralizing event for the Americans. So the plan of the British war fleet, which included some 16 to 19 warships, was to mercilessly fire their superior weapons and completely annihilate Fort McHenry. Then the British could send in its lighter ships up into the harbor and begin to bombard the rest of Baltimore. This is a critical moment in the history of our young nation. For even though we had become a sovereign nation in 1776, the United States was still fighting for total independence from the British due to Britain's interference in our expansion, trade, and other freedoms. On September 13, 1814, as morning dawned and as the haze hung over the ocean, the British war fleet was unleashed. Boom, 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 boom. For 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours. Boom, boom, the guns raged. The sound must have been deafening. Boom, boom, boom for 12 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours, for 24 hours. The British war fleet pounded Fort McHenry relentlessly with no relief in sight. The Americans inside Fort McHenry were unable to respond because their guns were not as powerful as the British artillery. Witnessing the bombardment, it must have looked like a spectacular fireworks display. Francis Scott Key, he paced the ship all night long, back and forth. At times he could see the American flag in the illuminated red glare of each bomb. No doubt if he had seen a white flag waving, he would have known that the Americans were surrendering. But as long as he could see the red, white, and blue flag waving, he knew that the men inside that fort were not giving up. Don't you believe that there had to be some prisoners on board some of those warships who were wondering, is the flag still there? Is the flag still there? Is the flag still there? Because you see, that flag stood for the United States of America. It was that flag that stood for the freedoms that our nation cherishes today. It was that flag that stood for the men and women who died to give us our independence. Well, after more than 24 hours of constant bombardment, finally there was silence. And as morning dawned on September 14th, 1814, when the heavy mist and the smoke from the gunfire had lifted, there, standing proudly, flying high above the rampart, blowing back and forth in the wind, was the huge 30-foot by 42-foot American flag. Major George Armistead, the commander of Fort McHenry, had commissioned a widow to make this flag. He wanted it to be so large that the British wouldn't have any trouble seeing it from the distance, waving proudly. Miraculously, the damage to the fort was minimal. Of the 1,000 soldiers, 4 were killed. The United States did not yield, and the British eventually withdrew from the Baltimore harbor, deeming the battle to be too costly. The tide of the war was reversed. There at the Battle of Fort McHenry, just a few months later, a peace treaty was signed between the United States and Britain. It was upon the release of the prisoners that Francis Scott Key made his way back into Baltimore. And after such a dramatic and emotional occasion, the young lawyer was inspired to pen the following words. "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?"
All right, Frank, I'll give you a minute to dry your eyes.
Okay, Joe.
But you know what? You can sit down for the national anthem, but know what the story's about. If you still decide to sit after that, then that's your right to do so. But
Right.
pretty remarkable story. Scott was on a ship. He watched this bombardment at Fort McHenry all night while he was negotiating for a prisoner exchange. And for him to pen that afterwards, and then later, it wasn't adopted for our national anthem until I think the 30s, 1920s or 1930s, before we actually had an official anthem, which it became it. But you guys in the space, any comments on that?
No, it was beautiful. But we do have a hand up. Go ahead, Moon.
Proud to be an American.
Amen.
Absolutely. By the way, I spliced in that was the Army's field band who did the national anthem standing at Fort McHenry, if you watch the video.
Mm.
So we got some comments. Eva Drops, I think, Evade Zap. I'm not sure who that is. Here we go. And then we got the range minded, of course, with Let the Shenanigans Begin. I don't know what you're talking about. What's he talking about, Frank? Shenanigans. This is an educational, informative show. What's he mean, shenanigans?
Funny stuff, more or less. Joking, fooling around, shenanigans, yeah.
We'll have none of that here today, sir. We'll have none of that here. We've got B with her hand up. Go ahead, B.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Joe. I just wanted to say, yes, it is your First Amendment right not to stand for the national anthem, but it shows your lack of appreciation for those who provided you right.
Yeah, Amen.
I think most likely a lack of your knowledge of the history of why we stand for that and put our hand over our heart and what it means to this country.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's get down to some facts. Frank, do you like going to the beaches? Are you a beach or a mountain guy?
I would rather, well, either or. I like either one. If I had the opportunity to go to the beach, I would. If I had the opportunity to go to the mountains, I would at the moment. Sure.
Well, let's check out this lady. She wanted to see the beach. Evidently, her family were near a coastal area, and she just wanted to see the beach. So she gets out. Family takes her to a spot to see the beach, and this is what she comes back with. Check it out.
Oh boy.
Was it a long ways out there? What? What? Exactly what that was, didn't you? You knew what it was. That burn. You knew exactly what that was, didn't you? What? Trish, you did. No, I didn't. I swear you did. What? They're naked. Trish, you know that. No. Honest to God, I walked up and I looked down the road, and there was sat a man in a chair and a woman right beside him. They both didn't have stitch clothes on. And he was sitting there. I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't see his thumb. All I could see was that other. And his thumb must have been so little, so that's the reason I didn't see it. Well, I didn't believe what I was looking at. And I looked again, and I thought, well, that's the only two out here that's like that. And I looked, and here come this man and woman walking down the beach, and he didn't have stitch one clothes on. Honest to God, Trish, you know what you sent me. And you know exactly what you sent me to. And it don't say a thing in the world about anybody being naked. Nowhere. Oh, my.
Frank, did they do Grandma wrong?
My headset's not working real good, Joe. She said she saw a naked something, right?
What they did was she wanted to see the beach, so they drop her off and they stay in the parking lot, and she walks down to the beach, but it's a nude beach. And she comes back up. She says, you know what you did? You know, you sent me down to this nude beach. But she went to a nude beach and come back to report what she'd saw, which evidently wasn't real impressive from what I gathered.
Yeah, she was in shock. Yeah, okay. I heard her say something about nude, but I thought it was just one individual. Okay. So, yeah, I guess that was a shock for her, huh?
Well, I guess it was. It was a shock for her, yes.
Yeah, she couldn't get over that. Well,
I don't,
as if she never seen a wiener before.
She was calling it a Tom. She said I couldn't see his Tom, so because I guess it was so small. Rain says it was cold. That's the excuse. Go ahead, Moon. Does Moon really have her hand up, or is it stuck?
I'm not sure. It shows that she has a hand up to me, but we can move on.
All right, we're gonna.
Sorry, it's stuck. It's stuck. I didn't have my hand up. Sorry.
No worries, and we're gonna move on. All right, Frank. We've talked about the Air Force. We haven't talked about the Army too much. So today I want to talk about the Army, in particular the M2 Bradley, the infantry fighting vehicle. Mm-hmm. Interesting thing about this, it's an infantry fighting vehicle. It was made to match a BMP, which is a Russian infantry fighting vehicle at the time, Soviet infantry fighting vehicle. And it's meant to move infantrymen on and off the battlefield and give them some cover under fire so that infantry can go do what the infantry's got to do. But it turns out that we've realized that we put together one hell of a machine. This M2 Bradley's got a 25 millimeter Bushmaster chain gun on it, and it's not supposed to be able to penetrate Soviet or Russian armor. But check this out in some recent engagements out of the Ukraine, because we've sent these M2 Bradleys to Ukraine. But check this out. This is like an infantry fighter pilot or fighter.
Launches a Tau missile and hits the target precisely. The APC is destroyed. Ukrainian soldiers don't call it the king of the battlefield for no reason. You all have seen this viral video where a Bradley IFV destroys a T-90M tank. Let's break down and analyze this video. Bradley rolls out onto the battlefield to support the infantry, but then something unexpected happens. A T-90M appears out of nowhere. Sergei, the commander and gunner of the Bradley, says his biggest fear was facing a tank head-on. His fear got real. Before reaching the position, the American infantry fighting vehicle encounters a tank face-to-face, only 500 feet separating the Bradley from Russia's newest tank, the T-90M Proriv. It was a surprise for the T-90 as well, but the Bradley still shouldn't be a problem. The battle begins. What will Bradley, designed to support infantry, oppose to the most lethal Russian tank? The M2 Bradley is designed for transporting infantry and providing fire support. It features a combination of mobility, firepower, and protection. The M2 variant is equipped with a 25mm cannon and a tow missile launcher, allowing it to engage both armored and soft targets effectively. The M2 Bradley was introduced in the United States in the 1980s as a response to Soviet BMP armored personnel carriers. Over the past 30 years on the battlefield, a key role has been played by Bradleys, which can transport infantry, including drone and javelin operators. They can swiftly embark, take positions, and destroy tanks, which have taken a back seat as well as its ability to adapt to various types of combat conditions and tasks, as is the case now in Ukraine. Due to Bradley's extensive capabilities, it can be used to destroy armored targets, as seen in this video. It is also interesting that it can engage aerial targets. In some modifications and variants, it is equipped with specialized air defense systems. Often when positions are stormed, after infantry deployment, it supports them with its fire, suppressing the enemy in open areas, acting as a protective barrier when fire is conducted. The Bradley was, to some extent, developed in response to the Russian BMP, which has a couple of insignificant advantages. It's the ability of the BMP to transport more infantry. It can accommodate up to 10 people, unlike the Bradley, which can only carry up to 6 soldiers. Additionally, as it can often be seen, about 10 more people can ride on top of the vehicle. But this is not an advantage. Soldiers prefer to ride on top because there is always a chance of hitting a mine. If this happens, the vehicle turns into a pile of metal with fatal consequences for those inside. The BMP is less armored. Because of this, it is more maneuverable, lighter, faster, and can also float. These are the advantages that can barely be considered as advantages. In modern realities, the BMP may not even deliver the troops to positions because it can be hit by a mine. The Bradley has a more impressive range of weapons for each task. It has an M242 Bushmaster cannon capable of penetrating armor up to 40 millimeters thick. Check out this video. Take a look at how effortlessly Bradley slices through the BMP's armor. The Bradley's 25mm projectiles penetrate the armor of the armored personnel carrier without any issues. The BMP smokes. It's over for it. See this 3D representation of how lethal the Bradley's projectiles are. The armor plates of the BMP-2 are being cut through like butter by the Bradley's bullets, acting as hot knives. The helicopter in this video was shot down by a tow missile. The BMP's armament of a 30mm automatic cannon is certainly not capable of this. It has an ATGM as well, but it's outdated and is nowhere near the TOW in terms of technology. Now let's return to our story. Bradley encounters the most modern Russian tank, the T-90M, just 500 feet between them. As Bradley's gunner said, he feared most to see the tank in his sights, but there's no time to fear, and Bradley opens fire. The gunner knew he wouldn't likely penetrate the tank's front armor, so he tried to aim for the tank's targeting systems. Since the turret rotation mechanism is relatively close to the sighting systems, Bradley managed to disable the turret's rotation mechanism, causing it to spin uncontrollably. Deprived of the ability to monitor the battlefield and left without a gun, the praised super tank is rendered inoperable and becomes a sweet target for drone operators, who soon deliver the final blow. The battle is over.
What do you think about that, Frank?
Yeah, that's some badass equipment. Yeah, that's a badass equipment, man. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good one. We're ahead of them all.
What's
aren't we?
interesting is that that M2 Bradley is able to, and it's not meant to go against tank. It has tow missiles that can engage heavy armor, but it's really not a tank killer.
Right.
But there's been more than a few engagements going back to Desert Storm in 90, 91, 91, I guess, where the Sable round, the armor-piercing round on the M2 Bradley, using that 25 millimeter chain gun, has actually Swiss cheesed Soviet armor and Russian armor today. With that T-90 that we just watched, that's an engagement out of Ukraine, and that T-90 didn't have a chance. Another thing that's interesting, if you go back and watch the video, and I can do it if anybody would like to see it again, is the Bradley didn't miss. It's a very precise engagement system.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a machine. Yeah, it's badass. That's all I can tell you, man. It does a good job. That's a good piece of equipment. American ingenuity.
Now it's tough. It'll take some hits.
Yeah.
Corey, anybody in the space want to make any comments on the Bradley before we move on?
No, I think the Bradley is a fine piece of art. Let's put it that way. Kind of reminds me of LAR, just the Marine equivalent. Not even that, but Amtrak's. But they do have new updated Amtrak's in the Marine Corps. That was our troop personnel that we had, or that troop carrier that we had in Iraq. The old Amtrak's, the old like dinosaurs. So yeah, it's good to see that it actually it can take on this supposed Russian threat, as everyone says they're scared of.
You mean our near peers, right? Everyone's worried about Russia, and we can Swiss cheese their main battle tank with our infantry fighting vehicles. Yeah,
exactly. B has her hand up though.
Go ahead, B.
I just wanted to add it would make a great commute vehicle for the Bay Area.
Yeah. He would get you there and get you back. I don't know about fuel mileage. You may not get so much on the MPG on it.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd work out real well, B.
But I will say one of the most interesting things about the M2 Bradley is the 242 Bushmaster. The Bushmaster really is a feeder to a chain gun. But we see this Bushmaster. It was developed in Vietnam during the Vietnam years. I'm not sure it was developed in Vietnam itself, but it was developed in the 1960s and has become one of the most feared and successful chain gun feeders out there. It's on, in fact, most of the vehicles that you named there, Corey, I would imagine it's on at least one or two of those, this Bushmaster feeder. And we see it on a lot of the rapid fire guns on Navy ships that are in turrets that are shooting so quickly. Those two are the same Bushmaster feeder. It feeds relentlessly and without jamming, and it's just got no stop in it.
Bushmaster makes a lot of products for the Army, for the military in general. A lot of the 50 caliber sniper rifles and other calibers they make also.
You know, I think that's the name of the feeder. I don't know that it's the manufacturer's name.
Well, there is a manufacturer called Bushmaster.
No, there is. I just don't know that they're one and the same.
Oh, okay.
I would say that Bushmaster would be something different.
Bushmaster.
Bushmaster would be something a little bit different than Frank.
Okay.
You got some Bushmasters back there, Frank?
Yeah, Bushmasters.
All right. Well, I just want to touch on it. We've talked about your Air Force stuff. We're going to do a little Army. Today.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So, Frank, what do you think about modern rearing of children? Right. So you've got a grandson, a young grandson, matter of fact, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
We hear, Meta, all the social media platforms are on trial. They're suing them, saying that the content that they're providing children is detrimental to raising children.
Yeah.
So I was just curious. I kind of went back and done a little digging. What was it like? We look at the early 1950s. The Boomer generation was the generation to be raised in. It was the most comfort life, good paying jobs, stable homes.
Yeah.
And it was a good time to raise children in America. So I wanted to go back and see what we're doing different than what they were doing. So here's some toys for girls and boys.
They're slugging it out in the middle of the ring. And there's a hard
Little
line to
Frank
the
right
job. And Blue Bomber's block is knocked off. His block is knocked off?
Sure, but you can press it right back on again. It's just part of the action with the world's only boxing robots, the Rock'em Sock'em Robots by Mark. Takes 2 managers to handle the fighters and lots of skill to win. With these control levers, you can keep your fighters in motion to duck punches. When you press this plunger, he throws a right uppercut. Press the other plunger, and there's a left jab. Lots of exciting action and fun for everyone when the world's only boxing robots battle it out.
The Blue Bomber's looking for an opening. And there it is. That's the end of round 2.
Just push the flying head back, and you're ready for round 3.
Boy, this is the greatest.
You bet. The world's only boxing robots. Get the Rock'em Sock'em Robots by Mart.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots for the boys.
Yeah.
Here's what the girls were doing.
Here it is, Barbie's Dream House. The wonderful new house for Mattel's famous Barbie doll. It's completely furnished with Barbie's own dressing table, bed, studio couch, TV, and hi-fi. And look, a clothes closet complete with hangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
Why does Barbie look like a spinster in her 40s with her hair? This Barbie from the 1950s, folks, needs a Pabst blue ribbon in one hand and a Lucky Strike in another.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they made her like that. Of course, today's Barbie is a little bit different than that one. But I don't remember Barbie. A little later on, my first sister would have came along in, I don't know, late 50s.
Okay.
I don't know.
That may be your story. You can stick to it. Let's finish out and find out what it's like to play with Barbies in the 1950s.
Okay.
For the Barbie costumes and accessories you buy. And you'll have fun putting the furniture together. Just pop them out, fold them into shape, and there you are. You can arrange the furniture and, of course, rearrange it. A lady's privilege. Barbie's Dream House is a wish come true for both of you. And look, the whole house and everything in it folds up into its own sturdy carrying case. You can take it anywhere. It's perfect for storing Barbie's furniture and costumes. Mother will appreciate that. Look for the genuine Barbie Dream House and furniture, made only by Mattel.
Only by Mattel, Frank. Do you remember the Rock'em Sock'em Robots? Did you have one of those?
No, I didn't have one, but I do remember them. I don't know how well. I wonder how well they did sell, but no, I did not have them. But I do remember it. Yes.
Now, it was a durable toy because they were still selling it when I was a kid in the 70s, early 80s. I had a Rock'em Sock'em robot.
No kidding. I'll be damned.
Yeah,
That's why you're.
They were selling them well into the 90s, I think. I remember them in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember it, but like I said, I didn't have one. But you had one, huh, Joe?
You know what? Either I had one or a friend had one. I played it. I don't remember if I actually had one myself, but yeah, the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So in the 50s, we wanted our boys to grow up with being a little tough, and the chicks were washed up housewives, smoking Lucky Strikes and drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys in the space are watching it, but you should go back and look at the Barbies from the 1950s. That's a different Barbie. That's not the same Barbie we've got now. She looks she looks wore out and mean, actually.
Well, art imitates life, so she probably was worn out. He had probably about 4 children. Ken keeps on slapping her every time she says something smart.
She got that hairsprayed hair, looking like your unmarried aunt who drinks and gets drunk at parties.
Yeah, all puffed up. Yeah. With a cigarette in her mouth.
Probably cusses like a sailor.
Yeah, cigarette in her mouth. You damn right she cusses like a sailor.
He got a hand up.
Back in the day, she partied with sailors. Go ahead, B.
Well, if you guys think about it, that was pre-women's lib Barbie because
Yes.
it was her privilege to move furniture around. It wasn't her right. It was her privilege. So pre-women's lib.
Yeah. She didn't get out of that moo all day. She just stayed in her house clothes.
Only thing missing was the curlers and the flannel house coat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to buy that. It's an add-on to the Barbie house. That's just what comes standard. Lucky Strikes and Blue Ribbon come standard.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Queen Bee when she said her husband was moving the furniture around.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was mad because she got to move it back.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. Now that you've said that, I'm going to remember this conversation you had about Queen Bee. Is that Barbie reminded you of 50s Barbie reminded you of Queen Bee? Lucky Strike, Blue Ribbon.
Boy, yeah, you'll be in deep shit.
Now, I don't forget.
Yeah. You're in trouble now, brother.
I'm gonna get yelled at.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you know, the 50s was another time. Television had just come out the late 40s, and most American families were getting them between 1950 and 1955, 56. Wouldn't you say, Frank? Most people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's about right, Joe.
But not everyone had one, right?
No, not everyone. We got ours. I think I was around. I'm going to say 8, or about 8. So that would have been 55. Yeah. That was the first one we got. Yeah.
When do you think the first toy commercial came on?
Boy, I don't know. BB guns. A lot of that. BB guns were really, really big. I can't. Red Ryder, I think it was the name of it. Trains, Lionel trains, and BB guns. That's and of course you had all your sporting equipment.
What about Mr. Potato Head? When did Mr. Potato Head come on scene for you?
Oh man, I don't remember that being. I don't remember having a potato head. I'm trying to think.
Well, check this out. Let's
watch
a video. So I've got a video of the 70s. When I was a kid, Mr. Potato Head was around. It's kind of silly. I mean, what do? You sit around, put eyes on a potato. But it was around and evidently popular. But this toy was actually debuted as one of the first television commercials in 1952.
No kidding. Wow. All right.
I made you, you know it's true. Mr. Potato Head, I made you.
Yeah.
Nothing else to.
These kids are creepy.
Yeah. No, I didn't have. I remember it, but I didn't have one of them. Maybe my sisters did.
Well, you wouldn't have had this version. You're gonna have. You could have maybe had the second version. So that's 1972.
Okay.
In 1952, Potato Head was the first television commercial. Here it is.
Hasbro. Hasbro makes toys. What's new, Hasbro? Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with their own cars and trailers. That's what's new. See, Mr. Potato Head has a car and boat trailer. And there's a car and shopping trailer for his wife, Mrs. Potato Head. It's such fun to do and so easy. Like this. Take any fruit or vegetable. Just stick in eyes, then ears, and then the mouth. You can make the funniest looking people in the whole world. Potato Head people look different every time you make them. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with cars and trailers come in $1 and $2 sizes. What else is new, Hasbro? A vanity case with toy cosmetics and beautiful accessories and real-looking doctor and nurse kits. Hasbro makes great toys. It's fun.
Hasbro makes great toys.
Great toys, yeah.
Okay. So what I gather from this commercial that the original Mr. Potato Head the box didn't contain a potato. You had to get your own.
Right, yeah. You had to get your own potato, yeah. No, We, my brother and I didn't have Mr. Potato. We would have never sat around with a potato putting shit on it. You
I
know?
don't think that's true. I'm sure your dad come in World War II
No,
veteran,
no,
right?
no,
He
no,
spent his early life putting
no,
K-bars in
no,
fascist
no.
necks. He
I
comes
had to
in, your mom's
think.
got you and your brother sprawled out on the floor with potatoes and carrots, putting eyes on him. He just shook his head and kept walking.
No, no. I'll tell you, I remember our younger days fairly well, and we spent our time. Other than being outside with army soldiers, the little bitty green guys that had these flat things on their feet so you could keep them up. No, no, we didn't do the potato thing. That was stupid. I couldn't see a
I don't
boy
believe you.
doing that.
I don't
Well, I don't care what you fucking believe. I'm telling you, we didn't have no damn potato head or Mr. Potato, rather.
I've heard
Huh?
people talk about erector sets. Does that ring a bell?
Now, we're not
Yeah,
here
Rector
to
said.
reminisce
Yeah,
about toys you've heard about. We'll get to
yeah,
that in the after party space, my friend.
yeah.
But so, am I the only one that's amazed in here that the original Mr. Potato Head didn't? You had to get your own potato or your own carrot or zucchini
Well,
and stick
well,
the
yeah.
eyes and ears on them.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna? The potato would be bad if it was sitting in the store for a month or two. You know what are you gonna do? Get an old rotten potato to some kid?
Make it out of plastic like my generation, man. That's how
Oh,
you do it.
oh,
You know,
oh.
kids start pulling out potatoes and sticking shit on them.
Well, I guess in '52 they didn't have a lot of plastic yet. I don't know. They used the real thing.
What about all the flies flying around a potato that you let sit there for months?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Old soggy ass potato.
A rotten potato.
Well, no, that's not the way this worked, folks. So the mom would be working on dinner in the afternoons, and she let the kids play with potatoes till it's time to peel them. Then she would peel their friends, take their eyes off them, peel their friends, fry them, and at dinner you sit down and eat your potato head.
Oh shit!
Little Jimmy,
Well, I bet the kid, if she took the potato, that kid would be crying. Oh, mom took my potato.
Scrape his eyes
Cook-
off.
Yeah, cooked him.
Cut him up and cook him. That's exactly
Cook
what
my-
happened.
You cooked George my potato.
See, that's the way it would be today. Back in the day, you just like snatch a potato out of a kid's hand, peel it, and cook a dinner because that's the way life is. But today, we like, oh, the emotional damage of.
Oh yeah, they'd be seeing a therapist for the next 10 years.
My mom cooked my friend the carrot.
Yeah.
Eat him. I can't stand it.
Oh gosh.
So interesting there. The most interesting thing I found out about toys from the 1950s is that Mr. Potato Head originally did not contain, the box did not come with a potato. You
No, it did not.
Potato to stick your ears, your nose, your little hat on it.
Yeah.
Did you see how bad they looked in that commercial?
Yeah. Oh shit.
If you didn't get a chance to see that, folks, I may post it on my timeline later, but you just go back and look at the 1950s Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head commercials when they're using the real potatoes.
Real potato, yeah.
They just
Yeah.
look bad. It's creepy. It's
Yeah.
creepy. And they come with their own cars and trailers.
Yeah. They come up with all kinds of shit back then. And man, I guess kids would run out and get all that crap. But we didn't I didn't do it, Mr. Potato. I'm thinking my sister did. I don't know, man. That's so long ago.
You need to find out. Send her a text message. Said, "Did your Mr. Potato Head come with the
Yeah.
potatoes?" We have to provide our own.
I know they had Barbie. I know she had Barbie dolls. She had a lot of Barbie dolls. That was a big
I
thing.
wonder who was the one that said, "Hey, we got to stop using real potatoes and use plastic ones."
Well, they figured people were starting to catch that. This is not a real toy, man. They're just sending us eyes and ears and shit. And so, well, we need to put a potato in there now. And then we'll keep selling it until 1972. We'll keep selling this damn thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you picked up on it or not, but in the 70s commercial, I think the kid comes off as creepy because they snatched him off his bicycle and made him do this commercial. You can see he's got a busted knuckle. You'd never see that in a commercial now. He was busy doing other things, and they pushed him into this. And
Yeah,
she's got her hand up.
Yeah, they didn't look real professional actors. Those kids did not.
No.
Kind of like mouth breathers is what they really look like. But go ahead, Lee.
No, I was going to say that the first edition of the potato probably didn't go over well because that generation was raised out of the Great Depression. So playing with your food was not a choice. Like you did not play with your food. So they had to come up with
What are you talking
plastic
about?
by the time we were born.
It came out in 1952. Was a hit.
52.
Yes, sir. But their parents had come out of the Great Depression, so they were still on the whole. You don't play with your food.
Well, they didn't have toys, and they'd give them a string or a zipper or some shit to play with. They didn't have toys. The greatest generation didn't play with toys. They were ready to go to war.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Okay, enough about the 50s and the toys and the odd commercials. I guess we're just learning about commercials in the 50s. They're not great. But Frank, are you a fisherman? Do you enjoy to fish? Is that something you do or no?
Nah, I fished a little bit. I find it boring, but yeah, I mean, I have, but I've never been an avid fisher. No.
Well, our friend Corey is an avid fisher.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you went fishing, have you ever gone out and like got your own worms, or do you fish with
Yeah.
worms?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, in my younger days. Yeah, sure,
Where did you
absolutely.
go and get the worms?
Huh? Dig them up.
Yeah. Corey, what about you? Have you ever gone out and collected your own worms to fish with?
No, I can't recall, but I would think that I would go dig them up, but no.
It's because both of you guys are rookies. Check this out. These are worm grunters.
Okay. Worm grunters. Oh God.
Gary Revel is a professional worm grunter. These professional grunters use an implausible method to catch worms that even they admit is like magic. DW pounds a wooden stake called a stob into the ground and levels his 10-pound flat iron over the top. Then he slowly, rhythmically rubs the iron over the stob back and forth. He's making the ground vibrate with this technique, and then suddenly, magically, big fat earthworms start to climb out of the soil.
There's an art to it, you know. I've tried to teach people how to do it, you know, and they just give up. They say they just don't understand how we can get these worms out of the ground with us.
Well, Frank, there you go.
Yeah.
You can be a worm grunter.
Yeah. Be a lot easier. Easier just to dig them up after a rain. That's when you go to dig them up, and after a rain, hell, they're up on top of the soil anyway. Boy, that's crazy shit.
Part of the group of people we says some people just don't get it. They don't go get the worms. The worms come to them.
Yeah, that's I'll bet that didn't. I'll bet there wasn't many of those worm. What'd you call them? A what? Worm charmer?
Worm. A worm grunter.
A worm grunter. Yeah, you'd be doing a lot of grunting with that damn thing. That's crazy as shit. I wonder how long he had to do that before the worms came up.
I don't know. I mean, it's better than digging a hole. You just like rub the stick and bring the worms up. Doc, what do you got to say about this?
Are we going to do that? The fact that we've now found video of retribution?
That's not right. That's not right.
Well, the bad part about it, like he was polishing someone's knob. I'm sorry.
No, he was grunting worms, man. He was bringing worms up. He's professional. Y'all didn't catch that? Professional worm grunter. Not an amateur like you guys. And no, that's what the sound makes when you run when you run it over your stick.
Yeah.
That's what that's the sound it makes. You didn't hear it.
Yeah. It did some weird shit, don't we? That's some weird stuff.
Well, it brings in the worms, man. It brings in the worms.
Well, still be easier to go 4 inches in the ground and dig them up.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Whatever.
All right. So this week, Frank, we've had the State of the Union speech, and we all we watched that together. Had a space. It was pretty good. I thought had good vibes off of it, and I think it was even B saying last night she was excited for this show, saying that we would have some State of the Union stuff going on. I went back and looked at it. It's kind of overtalked. Everyone's beating it up, and I decided to not put that in there. But I did want to bring up the story on this young lady. This lady, Aliyah or Alier, was Elon Omar's guest. The State of the Union, but she's also the woman who was pulled out of a car and arrested by ICE. She's a pure victim. But listen to this.
Yeah. All right. I did read about it.
One of the guests that you brought to the State of the Union was actually arrested by U.S. Capitol Police during President Trump's speech for allegedly disrupting the proceeding. Explain to our viewers, Congresswoman, what happened, and is she still in custody?
Yeah, you might remember Aliyah Rahman was the disabled woman who was headed to a doctor's appointment when ICE agents broke her window and forcibly dragged her, detained her, and she suffered concussion, many broken bones, and it was really important for me to have her here. And as she said this morning, at the State of the Union, you can do two things. One is to sit, the other is to stand up, and she chose to stand up. We know that she was taken to the hospital after she was detained. Now she is back and safe.
Multiple broken bones.
Oh, what a
lie on her original arrest. And you'll notice she's just trying to get to the doctor's appointment.
Yeah, she's a lying bitch.
And she was just trying to go, even though there was no one in front of her. She could have just hit the skinny pedal and gone.
Yeah.
This fascism in real life. We're watching it right here. Move along, drive your car, lady. Move along.
They gave her multiple chances to move that damn car. Pull her ass out of there. FAFO moment. Yeah, drag your ass out. Got what you deserve. Oh, you're full of shit.
My superpower is I'm disabled. She's still resisting, still resisting, still resisting, still resisting. When she gets in handcuffs, she stops resisting. She finally complies when she is restrained.
Yeah.
But this was Ilhan Omar's guest for the State of the Union. You have any thoughts on that?
Well, I read something that she was causing a bunch of shit wherever she was at, and they drug her ass out. She was probably mouthing off. Yeah, she's a radical anti-ICE person out there trying to stir shit, and then she wants to talk about. She had plenty of time to move that car, and she didn't. So
she was going to a doctor's appointment. That's why she didn't. Yeah, I told you that.
Yeah, she's full of shit.
What makes you think she's disruptive at the State of the Union? She doesn't have any record of being disruptive as propensity, does she?
Yeah. Well, I read something about it. I wish I could remember what it was I read, but she was being disruptive. She was doing. I wish I could remember, but yeah, they didn't just drag her out as some innocent person, just like they didn't drag her out of that damn car.
Bones. Did you not hear Omar? Multiple broken bones.
Yeah, bullshit. That's all bullshit. They're lying bitches. That's all.
And they did it again at the State of the Union speech.
Yeah.
Law enforcement were brutal there because she had to. You notice she had to go to the doctor. She had to go be seen by medical personnel prior to going into custody.
Yeah, I think there's some video out there on that. If there isn't, we'll probably see some soon. No, they're just she was there for one purpose, to make noise, and that's all. So
and get arrested.
Yeah, get
got
arrested.
So
Make the news. Make the news of how they were brutally attacked by ICE. Yeah, yeah. That's not working out that well for them. I don't think.
well, it's just a horrible story. My heart is broken for that.
Yeah, I'll bet it. I'll bet it is. Yeah,
Trying to get to the
yeah.
doctor, man.
I'm shedding tears for the bitch. So
Just trying to get to the doctor with torn and broken ligaments in her shoulders, being handcuffed.
Yeah.
Well, imagine trying to go to the doctor, imaginary doctor, and having to really go to a doctor. I think she. You know what? She was going to the doctor.
She did.
Well, they gave her a ride.
That's right. Yeah, she went freely. She went the right way.
And it was federally provided medical care.
There you go. And transportation, absolutely. Yeah. She got what she deserved, period. She could have moved that car. She had all the time in the world. They gave her every opportunity to move that car, but no, that isn't what she had on her mind.
You're a callous man, Frank.
They think they're fooling people. They're not fooling anybody. They're not fooling anybody.
I don't think you're giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, fuck her. She don't need no benefit of any doubt.
They go anywhere with that. That's kind of the end of that conversation.
Yeah, no kidding. Pretty much.
All right, Frank, do you eat Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A. I tried it. Actually, I can only say I tried it once. I really didn't like it that well.
Not a big fan of Chick-fil-A. We have any Chick-fil-A fans in the space?
Oh yes.
Well, Kirsten's giving thumbs up and thumbs down. Hate-love relationship, love-hate relationship with Chick-fil-A. Kristen does.
And he likes it.
Chick-fil-A is pretty solid, I think. But have you guys heard about the Gold Cup? Does anybody know about the Gold Cup?
No.
Man, that's a special thing. Let's check this out.
All right. What the hell?
Oh my God, it's golden! Holy shit!
Oh my God!
No, be confident in your answer.
If it's gold, it's mine.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
All my haters, if this is gold, I am the prettiest woman in the world.
She's not.
Done.
No. What the hell? Come here, dude.
Bro, is that the spray painting one?
Maybe.
Oh, wait.
Oh my gosh, and I didn't cut the video!
Oh my God.
This don't feel gold.
Oh, jeez.
So it's a promotion that Chick-fil-A's got out. They've got several collector's cups, but one in particular, I guess you buy these, they're sealed in the package. You can't see them. So it's like a surprise when you open it up. But if you get the gold cup, they will load 52 meals onto your app account or your Chick-fil-A app so that you can have Chick-fil-A once a week for a year with your golden cup. It comes with a drink, too.
Huh. You have to buy that bag and hope you get a gold cup in it? Is that it?
Yeah, this is not communist Soviet Union. You do have to buy it. Not giving them away.
Well, I mean, if they're doing a promotion, you would think that every 100th customer would get a gold cup or something or another. All right.
100 customer? Where's that at?
Well, I'm just saying, you would think that instead. So, okay, I want to take a shot at the gold cup. And what did the gold cup cost? What's that bag cost?
You know, I didn't do that type of research to how much the commemorative cup would actually cost you when you purchase it.
I have to look into that.
Maybe, let's say $5. I mean, is that a bad deal?
Yeah, it's a bad deal. So what? Who wants a gold cup from
Did you see all
Chick-fil-A?
the people in the video? All of those people were excited to get gold cups, Frank.
That commercial was worse than those in the 50s. They're terrible.
That wasn't a commercial. That was real people, man.
That's bullshit. That's about as bad as that dipping your chocolate in peanut butter.
Nothing's worse than Mr. Potato Head with a carrot with some dirt on it.
Yeah, no shit. That's the silliest shit I ever saw. A gold cup, big deal. People fall for all kinds of crap, don't they? Oh, I got a gold cup from Chick-fil-A.
When you get
Big
the
deal.
Gold Cup, you get 52 free meals. That's not a bad
Yeah.
deal, is it? Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah.
Just like Corey's
No.
pitch in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, at least it's a gold cup and not a gold shower. So,
Oh, that was a low blow.
Oh,
All right,
man.
folks, we're gonna end the stream here. We'll meet you in the space here in just a few minutes.
Holy
Great
shit.
show, and appreciate you, Frank. We'll see you in space.
Yeah, you too.
Frank tells tales of 1852.
A real airman would be able to tell me.
While Joe spins
No, you're
goats
full
more
of
than
shit.
new.
Not at that fucking altitude.
Real airmen in the space down there. You can tell me what kind of fire.
Together they're golden
Yeah, they'd be full of shit too.
So grab a seat and settle
They've
in.
always had their mouth flapping about how wonderful they are. So
To begin. It's time for the Frank and Joe Show.
All right, that's enough stroking, Frank.
hey, thank you.
That's not what we're here for.
Don't
He gets
start no
enough
shit,
anyway.
Joe. Don't start no shit.
From his home health care nurse.